edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a Thursday.
That's right, baby.
Barnes, Tony, and Zach is back. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Doing well. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we're kind of in somewhat similar circumstances, a little different, but just in terms of, wanting to kind of cement our spot in terms of, seeding and obviously for you guys clinching the playoffs. So it's just one of those times you just want to get to it. You don't want it to linger. And unfortunately, both of us have let it linger. Obviously, the Mets, not their fault. The rain today and yesterday, so a doubleheader on Monday, killing the hopes for that wild card game, wild card series of setting up the rotation, the this, the that. I'm sure you guys are pretty tight about that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I am pretty tight about it. I mean, obviously, I would not have wanted to force a game though yesterday or anything like that. Especially Lindor was going to be in the lineup. I would hate for him to try and like battle slipping around the infield or whatever while he's still like trying to like rehab his back a little bit. But I don't know. Regardless, I mean, you want to kind of stay hopeful. I mean, maybe this is kind of like a little bit of a silver lining here because you can now go to Milwaukee, I suppose, and hopefully you can somewhat make this double header on Monday a little bit of a not so much of a big deal depending on what happens here. Obviously you're kind of banking on Atlanta to lose their series, so I kind of forget who they're playing right now, to be honest. After who they play after the Mets. I was just
you'd be on top of this thing.
I know, it's actually funny. I was watching some SNY last night of the Rainbow Salicata.
He really was there?
Yeah, he was there, dude.
Such a fucking cheat.
I fucking want to punch him in his face sometimes, dude, because he's just, and it's like so hilarious because like everyone, there's four guys, whatever, Anthony Tacomo, but a bunch of other people, and they're just like talking normal, like having a conversation, and of course he's gonna be like, like he's fucking yelling and just like all this nonsense. I'm just like, dude, like just like pop it down a little bit, No,
I just can't stand those people who think just because they talk loud that means that like they're right. You have to listen to what they're saying. It's like, well, that's not really how it works.
Really true. I thought he was saying anything wrong, but it's just like sometimes.
I mean, he started Mary Buckmas, so let's just go back to that.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying at least last night anyway. Regardless, it does put somewhat of a funny feeling in your stomach right now.
Like, is this it?
I mean, not that this is it, but it's just like, why? On top of just like the regularness of like September for the Mets, it has to be like, there's a fucking hurricane hitting Georgia.
But I think,
man.
Think about what you just said. It's a hurricane. So really, I think this comes down to the commissioner's office easily. Right. They actually could have got these games in because you would have had a doubleheader Monday and then, doubleheader Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And then you would have had if they played like an early 1 o'clock game yesterday, they could have got it in as well. And then all the games would have been completed. A hurricane's coming for a week. I mean, listen, doesn't affect me, but I'm just saying, I mean, that must have crossed your mind, no?
Oh my God. Yeah. Speaking of hurricane, Matthew Ryan calling in, which we'll get to it in maybe a couple minutes, but I mean, yeah, dude, like you said, this is something that like wasn't coming out of nowhere. They knew it was coming. And they also knew that obviously these two teams are in the running for a wild card. Like, these are very important games, arguably the most important series the Mets have had all year. So, I mean, yeah, dude, it is a really bad job by the MLB, by the commissioner, by the scheduling department. You got to figure out a way, to have these games be meaningful at the right time, which I believe they said that they may review the Monday doubleheader if it doesn't really matter, but there really isn't a scenario where both those games don't matter. I mean,
yeah, they're gonna matter.
At least one of them would matter. you know?
And it's like you're not gonna like have it. Well, like if it matters, then we'll like. It's like no. Once the day starts,
Once the day
you have to
comes, like
play
you're
the
going to play
games.
both games. And then obviously, like you want to talk about, Mendoza having an obstacle in front of him. It's like wild card starts on fucking Tuesday, dude. Like you're going to have 0 time of rest. You're going to force players like Lindor to play 18 innings, right? Like, and then not have any time off. You're going to exhaust your bullpen. You got to figure out the starting rotation
And
now
then
at
have
this
to
point too.
maybe fly to San Diego.
Exactly. And you have a fucking, you have to go to San Diego, dude.
Not good.
Not good at all. And then in the meantime, you still have meaningful fucking games this weekend. Like you have a big series against the Brewers. I mean, I know that they clinched their division and stuff, but like, goddamn, they're still a great team. They got over 90 wins, right? I mean, they've been really good. Obviously, the whole Stern spot there too. Like you're gonna have to, you're gonna want to still put your best guys out there. You're gonna want to start, your best guys as well out of your rotation. I think we saw Minaya was getting the first start tomorrow, and then they're gonna announce the other two. But you would imagine Quintana's in there. Like you're gonna have to start your best guys still. So it's like a whole fucking conundrum of nonsense right now that the Mets kind of have to navigate, just to try and get to this wild card series. So it really is, in terms of like. I mean, I don't want to speak for the team, but at least as a fan, it's like worst case scenario to kind of wait this out right now,
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, be interesting to see how all of that plays out. And we'll talk more baseball in a little bit. A lot of comments here, if we want to start with those.
Yes, I will, dude. We just open up. Wow, Matthew Ryan is calling in, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, just like that's top of the show. Thank you very much,
a little
Zach.
aggressive.
It is a little aggressive, and it's just like what is he going to really add? I suppose it's just going to be like, we get it. But regardless, get some comments here. We do have a ton. We have 13 comments off rip, dude. Wouldn't you know that, dude? The first guy, Anthony Material, big Thursday night football game tonight. Let's go, dude. And then we have Michael Buckta in the house. Let's go. He says Gus
Michael B.
Johnson, dude, sucks. It's funny he's attacking Gus Johnson. He should work at Walmart, not in the booth. Chris Fowler, though, is the man. You gotta appreciate that. And of course, classic Michael Buckta. Dan Hurley's legendary. He is 120%.
I mean, I think all three of those people are great. Honestly, I like Gus Johnson. I know he gets a little crazy.
Right,
I miss him honestly on the March Madness. I thought he was good with that, like just yelling his head off. I mean, that's what you want from March Madness.
Yeah, no, totally. And then we also have Matthew Ryan here. Mets should have to sweep the Braves. Own the tiebreaker now. Mets should have to sweep. Comma is probably what should be there.
Own the tiebreaker.
The Braves own the tiebreaker now. Yes, and he says, in my opinion, the Mets have to sweep to make the playoffs because Braves right now have the tiebreaker over that. Whatever will happen. All right, Matthew Ryan, just redundancy, dude. Matthew, redundancy. Speaking of redundant, Josh B in the house is, yo, fam, Yankees better cut the crap. And then it's an LOL hashtag TCH Sports TTV. Now I know there's an LOL in there, Brian. But I mean, like Josh B's level of worry, you think, is like a
no, he knows because I mean it's just one Yankee win, one Oriole loss. I mean, it's obviously going to happen.
Well, because the Orioles are 4 games back.
Yeah, and there's 4 games to play, and we have.
So what are you worried about?
I'm not worried.
No, I'm saying like just in general. Don't get so defensive.
I wasn't. I said that either one is going to happen, so I don't get what your question was.
All right, so Matthew Ryan says, at Josh B, Marcus Stroman, and he keeps misspelling Stroman, must cut the crap. My mother says, hi, fellas. Kev Do with a big let's go. He says, we want the smoke. Yo, Barnes, I'm wearing the same at today. Anyone?
Hat.
Oh, hat.
Where's your
okay.
hat, Tony?
It's in the car actually. It's
you said you had it.
I brought it,
Pump
but it's
fake.
like it's for later, It's like for I don't wear hats right
Later.
now.
Wait, I mean, what's going on later?
No, nothing. It's just like I don't like to wear hats during the show sometimes,
What?
Because sometimes it casts like a shadow over your face. It doesn't look as good.
But I feel like for me it looks outstanding, no?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's definitely a little bit of shadow on the right side.
But I mean
that's fine.
Yeah, but we don't need to be perfectionists over here.
Well.
Speaking
of perfectionists, Matthew Ryan, Braves won. They own the tiebreaker, in my opinion, for the 3rd time in a fucking row. Matthew Ryan, Josh Beals says, and killing my fantasy finals stats. Oh, I guess because he has Stroman, losing Alonso, and fantasy playoff MVP Michael Harris. LOL. Michael Harris has been having a time for the Braves recently.
Yeah, I dropped him, and that's why he's saying thanks, Barnes.
And then he says, Luis Arise, who? And he goes, LOL. Okay, I'm done. Shit, you almost came back. I was scared. Josh B,
Yeah, like it's as nice as it could be, but,
But at the same time,
maybe he doesn't realize.
I don't think so.
He's talking a lot of trash.
He is
says
kind of talking a lot of
You're gonna say
trash.
like, "Oh, I'm the innocent guy." Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm not really like saying like fuck you, but I kind of am."
It's like when someone says no offense, but then they go on to just fucking kill. Yeah.
Or it's just followed by a
But and then, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Matthew Ryan, Mets don't own the tiebreaker, in my opinion. He says doubleheader, Braves won the game. Mets have to prove themselves. I mean, obviously they do have stuff to prove themselves, but again, at this point, that doubleheader on Monday is probably the last thing you're worrying about. If you're a player, obviously, if you're a manager, you're kind of thinking about ahead or whatever. But right now, it's Milwaukee. Like, let's figure it out. Couple off days. If you want to think positively, couple extra off days for Lindor. To double make sure that he's healthy. And then, the bullpen can rest, the rotation can kind of chill for a little bit. We had a big series against Milwaukee. So we're on to that. And then Josh B says, I'm not a shit talker. That's why I suck at it. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, like I kind of beat your ass, but like,
but you was
I mean, come on, Josh.
Oh my gosh, dude. So funny. Yeah, that's about it, dude.
Yeah, that's about it. A lot to talk about, but let's start in the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again.
Mahomes escaping, on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones, oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So just like that, week 4 to begin tonight. Al Michaels on the call with, I'm sure, another Michael Buck favorite in Kirk Herbstreit. The Cowboys here, 6-point road favorites. And right now the total is set at 45.5. This line opened at 5. So there's been a lot of action on the boys. And this is just one of those things. And, we'll do our, exact predictions on this in a sec. But I just look at this game and I know Dallas really has not looked great the last 2 games. I know, kind of a comeback last game, but the Ravens tend to do that third quarter, fourth quarter, kind of fall apart. It just seems like they really winged it at running back. That's coming back to bite. Maybe the defense isn't as good. We haven't said Micah Parsons' name as much as we usually do. But I think this is a different scenario here. And I know the Giants fans are a little riled up after getting that win over Cleveland last week. But really, I think this will continue to be the mismatch that it's been for primarily about 10 years here, which is a long time.
I think even more than that, to be honest. I think maybe probably 12. I think just Dak's rookie year, he lost against the Giants. And like every other year, he's been hammering them.
Yeah. So, do you guys see anything different here that I'm missing? I know people are excited. Jones wasn't that bad. Neighbors is dynamic. The defense got all the sacks. Do you guys think the Giants, have a shot here?
Honestly, I kind of do a little bit. And we get to our official predictions in a little bit, but I just think that if there's ever a shot for the Giants to beat the Cowboys here, it would be this year, I feel. I just don't think the Cowboys, Dak seems like a little bit of a shell of himself right now. The Cowboys in general do. Zeke does not look great. The line doesn't look great. Their defense, okay. But they definitely can't run the ball very well. Who's the guy? Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle.
Dowdle, yeah.
They have Zeke.
And then, but Zeke,
and then, Jerry Jones and his infatuation with Deuce Vaughn as well.
Yeah, dude.
You think Jerry's losing a little bit? Or he's always been a weirdo?
How old
honestly.
is he, though? He's
like 80s. He's always been, I think, a weirdo.
He definitely is a little bit of a weirdo. I guess you kind of have to be maybe if you're someone like him, but Yeah, I don't know. That guy, just the way he looks and the way he talks and the way he carries himself, always kind of struck me a little bit of an oddball. But nonetheless, I mean, I just think the Cowboys are not off to a great start. I don't know. I think the Giants could steal one here. I think a big part of it though is obviously continuing to stop the Cowboys running game. Hopefully you can get a running game of yourself going. Who knows what Singletary can do on the ground? I know you haven't had much success, but a little bit, I would say, more so than Dallas in terms of running. And then you just really, I think, need your defense to step up, dude. I think if you get to Dak and you pressure him, like I said, you stop the running game, you make them maybe a little bit of a less dynamic offense, like a one-sided, like you only go through the air sort of deal. And then you start rushing, 4, 3 guys, whatever, maybe some corner blitzes and whatnot. The edge rushing, I feel like you can get Prescott to get in some sticky situation, maybe make some bad decisions, some turnovers, and rely on that. But again, I think if Dak ends up having time in the pocket, I mean, it's probably going to be over,
Yeah, and that I definitely agree with that. What are your thoughts, Zach? I mean, do you think this is a mismatch, or do you think this actually plays close?
I think it'll be a close game just because the Cowboys have been struggling a lot, especially offensively. But I think the Cowboys will pull it off in the end because they need this win like desperately. But it's going to be interesting. I think the Giants have kind of picked it up. I'm sure their fans are riled because they beat Cleveland, but to me, Cleveland isn't that great.
No.
Watson is terrible.
That was still a surprise to me, though.
Yeah, definitely. I would say so.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think I'm really high on Neighbors. I've been really enjoying watching him play. I'm sure he'll have a big night, but I still think the Cowboys will pull it off in the end because they need this win desperately.
Oh yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, if the Cowboys drop a game here to the Giants, go 1-3, I mean, the narrative around that is just going to be brutal for them. And I think for someone like Dak too, I mean, if he's not in the right mindset moving forward, I'm not sure who they have after this, but regardless, I mean, it's not going to be good. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, I would imagine whoever you're playing the following week, they're not going to be easier than playing the Giants. Like, no offense to them, but I mean, geez, dude, I'm trying to see. They're in Pittsburgh the next, on week 5. So I mean, that's not easy. And then again, you're on the road again. Pittsburgh is a team that's kind of getting momentum for sure. They're 3-0, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, you lose at one here to the Giants. All of a sudden, Pittsburgh kind of, maybe rocks your socks a little bit, and then you're 1-4. That's not good.
No. Absolutely not.
And then again, I mean, the narrative around Dak too, obviously getting paid, getting his bag, you could say. But the only really thing he had to hang on was the fact that he was a great regular season quarterback. And I mean, that's not what he's looking like right now. And I mean, if you drop to a record like that again, I mean, and then then you have the Lions at home, yes. But I mean, hey, I mean, that undefeated at home streak kind of went out the window. So I mean, I don't know, dude, kind of tough here. Tough spot. This is one of those games for the Cowboys that could be a season swinging game for them, for sure. But I guess it kind of is the same way for the Giants. And I mean, I know the Giants started out, 0-2, right? But then they beat the Browns last week, so they were kind of 1-2. Brian, if they beat the Cowboys tonight, all of a sudden they're 2-2. Are you like, watch out a little bit?
No, the Giants are winning 6-7 games at most this year. I mean, let's be realistic. I know some of the fans are excited because they're beaten down, but I think some of them too, like Dave, it's kind of like, no, like I'm not getting all wrapped up in this. So if he's saying it, I mean, I think that means the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. But it's just interesting because I feel like, the narrative around the Giants was that, hey, these first 2 weeks, you need wins because the schedule gets really tough. But obviously they lost the first 2, and then all of a sudden you kind of bounce back. Browns, Cowboys, you're 2-2. I don't know. I guess we'll kind of see, but I think I'm in a similar boat as you, Brian, too. I think they're going to have 6-7 wins at best. But it's interesting. I mean, obviously there's a lot of different storylines here with Daniel Jones, even with just these 2 rivaling teams. But I think it should shape up for a good game. I mean, what's the line? They're giving 6 points.
Yeah.
I think it'll be within. I honestly, I don't think they'll cover that.
The Giants, you're saying?
Yeah. Right over there?
Yeah, you know how it's always just
this and that. The spare ribs.
I mean, I don't know about the spare ribs. But and I think too, you have to just have some, perspective here, I mean, you got, completely waxed by the Vikings. You almost beat the Commanders, but I mean, not this. I think the Commanders are a better football team, but it's like they're also not, it's like a perennial playoff team. And then you beat the Browns and Deshaun Watson. I mean, just throwing the ball. I mean, it's just a complete train wreck. So I don't think, to think, okay, Dallas, they haven't looked good. But I just think still when it comes down to it, I think Dallas, their defense is better than it's played. And I think Dak is not going to struggle to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb and some of his other playmakers. So he could drop back 40, 50 times and win this game. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it lives and dies with that defensive line for the Giants, I think, at that point. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. I mean, in terms of a Thursday night matchup, obviously, last week, Jets, Pats. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it was kind of like a blowout. I mean, do you see it being competitive though tonight? Like,
maybe to start, but we'll talk exact. But I would say at the end of the game, I mean, it's going to be one of those where Al will start to fall asleep in the beginning of the fourth.
Oh gosh, I hate to hear that, dude.
Yeah. It's been a tough time for him. Unfortunately, it's just Thursday night games. I mean, they're really. It's not a good idea. Really, I mean, if they were Friday, it would make it a little better. But it's just because of the contractual rights with high school football teams and stuff. But I think that kind of plays into it. But really, just in general, you don't get a ton of great Thursday night games. And it's just because of the time in between. I mean, because the Jets had to play on Thursday night. They played 3 games in 13 days or 11 days, I think it was.
Kind of crazy, right?
That's insane. So.
Any chance you think Cowboys quick turnaround? They're on the road too. Affects them even a little bit. Does it help the Giants?
I think they're sick of it. McCarthy's I mean, his job's on the line here, and this might be his last opportunity to coach in the NFL. So, you better beat the Giants. And I'm just curious if you guys could answer this question. The last time the Giants beat the Cowboys, what season?
Which season, dude?
I don't know, 2015,
2013,
2021.
Oh, really?
Oh, they beat them 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
That's their only victory since 2017.
Oh,
okay.
2021. Was it like a blowout in favor of the Giants? Do you know?
Let's see. Is this? I had the whole. Yeah, I do have this up still. So the Giants won 23-19, January 3rd. Of 2021. I don't know if that was a year where like the Dak got hurt or whatever, or
the
end of the year type of thing. Because earlier that year, or later that year, actually, the Cowboys ended up winning 44-20. So
Jesus.
This is showing it from the Cowboys' perspective. Just a lot of W's in this series. So
I would imagine the point differential too is way in favor.
Yeah,
of the
you think about
too.
just last year.
There's so many blowouts.
It's a different team, but 40-0 to open the season, and then in November 49-17. So
Jesus.
And all time 124 games, including 1 postseason games. Dallas 75-47 in this series with 2 ties. Back in the day, there used to be ties, but kind of crazy. But you hope we get something competitive out there. I'm trying to think fantasy wise. I don't think I have anybody on either team.
I don't think I do either, dude. I'm kind of happy about it, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the year, though, Dak will be a good fantasy quarterback. I know it hasn't looked good, but I'm telling you, this Cowboys team, I mean, just like blind is a 10-win team. I think, honestly. They're not that bad. I know they've had a couple rough games here, but they'll figure it out for sure. But what exactly is going to happen? Let's find out. In a full-on 1-game Thursday night football
Let's freaking go, baby.
MetLife Stadium for the second time in the past 2 weeks. Thursday night football.
How about that, right?
Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones. We talked about it before. The Cowboys -6, 44.5. Let's start with Tony here. What do you see in your Houdini vision?
Well, we were talking about the overall records. Last time the Giants won against the Cowboys. Cowboys looking to get their 7th straight win against this rivaling team here. And honestly, dude, I'm going for the upset. I know. Sometimes betting against the history and whatnot is kind of tough, as we saw week 1 with the Pats. We bet against them. Nonetheless, though, I'm going against America's team here. Give me the G-men. I say the defense stops Dak. I say that Jones and company can get enough done on the ground, a little bit through the air. Maybe Jones with a few big runs of himself. But I want 2 rushing touchdowns, Devin Singletary. I think 115 yards on the ground for him. Jones, maybe another 55 with a rushing touchdown on his own as well. And I'm telling you right now, dude, I think end of the game, 2 minutes ago, fourth quarter, Cowboys get the ball. It's 21-21. Dak rushing down the field. But wait, pick 6 to end the game. Giants win 28-21. Bucket, baby.
Let's go to Zach on this one.
Brian hates that call.
Yeah, that was a terrible call.
All right, we'll see.
I think Daniel Jones and Neighbors connect early for a shock score to start off the game.
There we go.
Fans of MetLife are riled.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to amount to much. I think the Cowboys have a great night offensively. Dak and CD start to finally connect, and the Cowboys pull away and win 31-17.
Okay,
Brian.
interesting that you said 31 because I have that in my mind, and we'll get to the score in a second. But I actually do agree with you where that type of start, I could see the Giants D, a big sack on third down. The Cowboys get the ball first, punt, go down the field, Neighbors, maybe a 30-yard touchdown score, like you said. The crowd going crazy. Oh my God! And then they give up 31 unanswered to lose this game, 31-7. I think the Cowboys defense in Jones's face all day, 7 sacks. I think Dak throws for 4 touchdowns, 2 to CeeDee Lamb, and Brandon Aubrey right before the half, a 61-yard field goal.
Very nice.
Back-to-back weeks with 60-yard field goals. But at the end of the day, it's the Cowboys 31 and it's the Giants 7. So Cowboys covering the -6 and under. And just like that, that is the fastest frenzy you've ever seen, Tony.
I think we've had some faster frenzies.
No,
maybe.
we have.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's competitive, like you say, but it seems to me like that was like Kevin Costner drafted that script, honestly, because that's not happening.
You said movie draft day?
I saw part of it.
It fucking sucked. That movie blew.
And honestly, Moneyball too, a little cheap.
What?
I don't know.
When's the last time you saw Moneyball?
I don't know. I don't even know if I've seen the whole movie, but it's just, you know what it is? Sports movies are tough for me because it's like I know them so well. So when someone like, oh, Brad Pitt's the GM or whatever, it's like, come on. Like, no, you're not. Like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. I thought it was a great movie. Very well made.
Who do you have the soft spot for in that one? That's like why you're defending it.
Am I defending it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I love every part of that movie, to be honest.
Wow.
I love Brad Pitt in it. I love Jonah Hill, Philip Seymour Hoffman as the A's manager, too.
So he's Art Howe.
Art Howe, yeah.
Gotcha.
Even Chris Pratt plays Scott Hatterberg. Pretty solid, obviously. Hey, dude, cool story with him, too. I mean, I thought everything was really good in that movie, dude. It's the writing, the music.
I mean, I do like Hill. I think I just saw like a quick thing, but maybe I could give it another shot. But like I said, I know sports. I don't need these actors that don't even know. I don't know.
No, you're right.
Where first base is.
Right. No, that is
like they're a manager.
I mean, that is like a lot of, I would say, complaints from like, sports fans as they watch these movies. You get a lot of these stories get kind of like Hollywoodized, very dramatized, drawn out, whatever. Sometimes borderline inaccurate. But I don't know. I think that was a good movie, dude. And I think for a storyline too that I would say most people don't know about.
Yeah.
The Oakland A's and everything like that, and their run and the whole Moneyball thing. Very cool.
Yeah. Kind of a random question here, but like, do you think, being, they're moving out of there, they're going to build this big stadium in Vegas and, just getting away from the bowels of the Coliseum. And you would think more attendance, maybe more money spent on the part of owner Jeff or John Fisher, I believe. I think it's John Fisher. I mean, do you think that they're going to end up, turning this thing around? Because if you look at it before the last couple of years, I mean, given what he put into the payroll, I mean, they actually had done pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some 90+ win seasons mixed in there, some playoff appearances. I know they wouldn't do anything once they're in the playoffs. But the Yankees, as recently as 2018, faced him in the wild card game at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think the A's will turn around, dude. I mean, I think like a new location. I mean, it's going to be huge. It's going to have so much more draw, right, than Oakland did anyway.
Right.
But it is sad at the same time. I mean, the Coliseum is, it's a historic area. Oakland, I think Rick and Dave were talking about it. Used to house like great franchises.
Well, because technically the Warriors were there,
and then obviously the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah.
So it's like it is kind of a shame to see, and it's just like I don't know. Fisher, it's interesting because, like you said, he did end up fielding good teams with the money he spent, but at the same time, it seems like he could have, if he spent more money, he probably could have kept the team there.
Yeah, but I also think, there's a couple of guys on that team that you could really build around. One of them, I feel like not a lot of people, even if you are a big baseball fan, know about Brent Rooker.
No, yeah.
He's hitting just under 300, has 38 home runs, 110 RBIs, 81 runs, 11 steals. They have him through team control for the next 3 seasons. So you got him, you have Lawrence Butler, you have Mason Miller, not to mention, I think JP Sears is, kind of okay. But
okay.
And I know there's other guys that I don't even know about.
Oh, yeah.
But point being, I think there's something to build with there as they head to Sacramento.
Yeah, dude. I think so too. But I guess, time will tell. I'll be interested to see like what kind of transpires and if it does kind of create maybe a better culture for these guys. But you said there's some young talent there that you can definitely build upon. So I guess we'll see. They have what it takes, dude. You think you start spending money though? And you do?
Yeah, no, he will definitely, because that people, there's gonna be Jews. People are going to go there, and it could be one of those things again where like, oh, the road teams dominate the park, whatever stadium.
I'd go.
But yeah, no, it would be a good tie-in to do the Raiders as well. But who knows? Maybe we'll be there before then, because you still got a few years that they're going to be in Sacramento while they build that place. The Raiders. But that was kind of a little intro there. Let's officially go to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game! Out of sight!
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes! See ya!
All right. So another opportunity last night, unfortunately, turns into a there it goes, see ya, as the Yankees fall 9-7 to the Orioles. So losing the first 2 games of that series, and Nestor going on the IL yesterday, maybe could be back for the ALCS. We'll see. So you have to start Stroman, and it's amazing. He was so dialed in to start this season, and even had a little run in the middle of it, but he's back to just being absolute batting practice. And I think yesterday's performance, and I know first inning for the runs, it was really all soft contact. He kind of got screwed over by that. But at the end of the day, a line of 3 1/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, and only 1 strikeout. He only gives you 66 pitches through 3 1/3. That's just it's not going to get the job done. And I just looked it up before the show. They still owe him $18.5 million for next season, plus investing for the following. Obviously, they can keep the innings down, so that doesn't happen. But I think, it's like, I'm just to the point where it's like you got to do anything you can, even if you save, I don't know, $2 million by sending him somewhere, it's worth it, because he's just finished. I don't know. It always seems like this is a pattern too in the second half. And I know, he went to the bullpen, then he gets the start notification last second. But and some of the soft contact screwed him over. But at the end of the day, I think his problem is because there are guys that don't light up radar guns, or don't have a ton of strikeouts per 9 innings, but still pitch pretty effectively. And I just watching him last night, all of his pitches, like nothing like really is like intimidating for the batter. And maybe there's a little side spin on it, so you hit the ball into the ground, but they were able to hit the ball into the ground hard, finding holes, getting through. He was victimized by Jason Dominguez not catching a fly ball in left field, probably added another run or two. But regardless, I just think you don't need to be striking out 10 batters a game. But I think you need a little more swing and miss if you're going to be a ground ball pitcher like Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. And I mean, that was a big complaint I feel like I had with him when he was on the Mets. I mean,
Yeah.
good hitting teams figure out a way to put the ball in play.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're a pitcher that like is like that contact pitcher, you need to find creative ways to get these guys out. And it's incredibly hard to do it. I mean, it's not easy being that type of pitcher, I feel like, in the league today. And I mean, you mentioned the splits of second halves. I mean, you want to look at his first few months, April and March, 6 starts, 3.69 ERA, but then May over another 6 starts, 1.67, just dialed in again. That's that soft contact working well for him. But then June 5.13, July 5.5, August a 4.5, and then September over 3 starts, plus 1 bullpen appearance. I mean, only 15 in the third innings, 8.8 ERA right now. He's 0-3 in those 3 starts. And that's somewhat, I mean, honestly, maybe even worse than other years, but for the most part, that's been his MO, just the second half taper. And it'd be interesting to see what he could do out of the pen. But again, I mean, in a big spot, if you have to bring him in the 7th inning and you're down by a run, like, do you want to bring in a pitcher that is going to look for contact? I mean, not really,
It's terrible. I just don't think there's a role for him. It's like,
there's not.
I say this all the time when pitchers don't work out, for the Yankees, like, oh, I can see him going to Pittsburgh doing well. It just seems like that's what we're looking at here. He's going out west. He's going to a team in the Central, whether it's the American League or the National League. But he should be done here. I mean, it's just you can't, especially against good hitting teams, like you said. I mean, they're going to find holes. So, and so that's my first gripe. Second gripe is, at the end of the day, I mean, you have 7 runs and 10 hits, so that is good enough eventually. But I think the problem is, and I know at the end of the day, all runs are created equal, but it affects the pitching staff. And it's like, it can't be 4 or 5 innings every time where it's like you only get a hit or two, only claw 1 run, and then like, oh, the rally cap's on late. And the thing is, I mean, you put yourself in such a hole that, scoring 4 runs in the 9th inning wasn't good enough. I mean, that's just not right. So I just really want to see from them in these, 4 remaining regular season games as we get into the playoffs to really take advantage of opportunities early. Don't leave runners on. You look at this game, they were 5 for 8 for runners in scoring position, but you still left 7 on base. And most games, they're not hitting that well with runners in scoring position and leaving double-digit runners on base, religiously. So, I think you got to just clean some stuff up. There were a couple tough fielding situations, tough hops, tough throws, just the errors that you can't have when you're trying to put away a team, like the Baltimore Orioles. And the positive here, the good stuff. I mean, you look at the lineup here, Soto, 2 for 4, 2 run scores, 3 RBIs, including a 2-run homer, his 41st of the year. Judge has started to heat up again, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, his 57th home run of the year, and 142 RBIs now. That is unbelievable. And sure, back in the day, there used to be some crazy RBI totals, like approaching 200, but this day and age, 142 RBIs is absolutely insane. So you love that production out of them, but unfortunately, you look around. I mean, sure, Glaber 1 for 5. That's not great. Stanton, another tough game, 1 for 4 with a run scored. Rizzo, 2 singles, 2 for 3, 2 run scores, not bad, but Wells is struggled, which I think has hurt them. And I think that's the reason recently that the offense has been inconsistent, because you've had, for the most part, I know, Soto a little bit here and there, same thing with Judge where they had some off games, but Torres, Soto, and Judge are all hitting. But then when you have Wells, Stanton, and Jazz kind of going through it, it makes it tough to find offense at times. And I think that's why they go through innings at a time, of not scoring. So it just doesn't leave you with a good feeling. But you can just get the job done today. You have your best pitcher going, but they have their best pitcher going. So I just look for them, to be patient against Corbin Burns here, wait for their pitches. But when they do get those pitches, be ready to hit. And I think if you can be selective with him, not fall behind in counts either, too, because I feel like Stanton, Jazz, even Wells, too. It seems like a lot of swinging early on, and then a blink of an eye, it's 0-2, it's 1-2. And, they need to hit those pitches in the beginning of the count if they're given to them. And I do expect them to do that, but just these past couple of games, you have been frustrating, but you hope the excitement of the ninth inning yesterday kind of carries over to today. Because I know Garrett Cole is going to give them what they need, but the question is the offense going to give them what they need?
Yep.
You really have to hope so.
Yeah, you do have to hope so, but I think you will. I mean, again, this pitching matchup is good. It's interesting. I mean, I feel like, obviously both of these pitchers are their aces. Both pitchers have had some ups and downs this year. But at the end of the day, I mean, if the offense is scoring 7 runs, that should be a freaking dub for sure. And I guess maybe on a little bit of a positive side, I feel like the Orioles were definitely using more of their bullpen the last couple of games.
But I'm glad you mentioned that, not to interrupt, but just kind of curious. To me, those 4 runs in that 9 seem a little hollow because you go into that inning, you're down 6. I mean, they're just trying to get to the end of the game. It's not like Sir Anthony Dominguez was coming in there, right? Or no?
No, you're right. But still at one point, like it's going to be like they're getting kind of nervous sort of deal. I mean, it's not like they were not.
Matt Bauman's the one who gave up the 4 runs.
Yeah, but these guys aren't throwing meatballs at him. Like, he's
not a good pitcher though.
Regardless, I think they have a Soto right out of the bullpen. They use back-to-back days.
Right,
who pitched very well, but like, you probably can't use him tonight right?
Just think about this for a second. I mean, I guess Eflin, okay, you chase him for 3 runs over 4 2/3, but Webb, Colombe, Soto, and Aiken, combined for 3 innings and gave up 2 hits, no walks, struck out 3.
But they were all on back-to-back days. No, they pitched all the day before as well, right?
I know Webb pitched.
I know Soto did as well.
Soto, I don't know. I don't think Colombe did. And
Aiken did. Colombe did not.
But my point is, the one guy who's very much so mediocre, you get the runs and then you don't get them from anyone else. So it's just like, I want to see it at the beginning of the game. And I also want to see it Ynier Cano's in the game. Go chase him for 2-3 runs. Like, it's like, and we've done a good job of that because around the rest of the league, I mean, he dominates everyone else. His ERA against us is high. But I think, Burns, he's approaching 200 innings this year. It's amazing what a workhorse he's been for Baltimore. He's going to be jacked up. They want to hold on to these hopes. Let's crush these hopes here. Let's not have to wait on what they're doing in the next series and have to win these games against the Pirates. Let's just make it nice and easy. And let's fucking get the job done today because it just really is infuriating. And again, you can get through this stuff, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, of course we hold the Yankees to a high standard, but these last 2 games really pissed me off. I think both were there for the taking. And it's the bugaboos, first game, they don't hit with the runners on. And then this game, I mean, the pitching staff, I mean, just couldn't hit water falling out of a boat.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was not good.
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like, listen, I think that this game, this win would start and end with Garrett Cole. Again, you want to talk about Stroman, even Clark Schmidt. I mean, these guys aren't giving you the starts that you needed.
Schmidt was fine though. That your offense was buttoned up early. You were fine there. I mean,
but still, I mean, Schmidt, I mean, what the scoring started, I think, in the second inning, he's giving up hits in the first. Like, it just, again, like you said, it's like, imagine if Schmidt went out there, strikes out the side, like 3 up, 3 down, those first 2 innings, even if he gives up a run or 2 by the 4th, it's still a different feel, for the batters,
you could have the same line.
Right. Just give him up later.
Right
Exactly. So, and I feel like that's what you're going to get out of Cole. If he does give up a couple of runs, it'll be his, 3rd time around the batting order probably. Right. So, it'd be very interesting to see, obviously how things plan out, but you're planning certainly for a Yankees dub. I mean, it's like we always talk about, it's very hard to sweep teams. You're in Yankee Stadium. It's going to be packed. There's going to be a lot of Yankee fans there without any names in the back of their jerseys. So
I think some will definitely have some names.
No, yeah, they always do, dude.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just infuriating. It really. Me and Matt were talking about it on the phone. Actually, I went to go pick up the Chinese last night. We're just like,
nice.
We're like, oh, it's tough. Like, yeah, now we can just relax. Like, oh, we're at home. But it's like, oh, well. I mean, I know this ended up being somewhat like, oh, you have a shot type of thing. But it just kills the vibe for the night. But it can be completely different today with a win.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, Tony, I mean, that's what I fully anticipate happening.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would as well, dude.
Did we get some more comments?
Oh, yeah, we have a few more here. Let's see. We had Matthew Ryan coming in here, said Cowboys will dominate this game in terms of the Giants-Cowboys matchup tonight, Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime. We have Michael Thiefel now says, goats, dude. And then Matthew Gabriel says, let's go. He says, flip the page. Let's do it tonight. Beautifully said, Barnes. And Michael Thiefel says, Duncan is a mush, dude. Obviously, Duncan meaning Domac. And it's funny, Domac obviously at the game yesterday, texted me, embarrassment, whatever. He's so sorry, whatever.
You sorry? Or he
Right.
just put on his Mets hat after the game.
Oh man, dude. I don't think so. I think he does. I think he did honestly feel bad. I told him to call in today. Say he
Probably
would,
won't.
but probably won't, obviously. He's probably fucking sleeping right now. Regardless, dude, like, I mean, that whole move is just so, I was definitely giving him some shit in class yesterday. Because that move is just brutal, dude. Like, what are you doing?
It's so like just I don't know, selfish.
No,
Would you
you're
say
happy.
selfish?
No, he made money. He's happy, dude. He made some money. He's happy, dude. You made your money, Domac.
But obviously, I always will give my full prediction of this game. When we do our frenzy. But for you guys, I know this is a good pitching matchup. And you would think runs would be at a premium, and Burns' ERA is under 3, 15-8, 172 strikeouts. What are you guys envisioning? Burns versus Cole tonight at the stadium. Could be a little misty as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I know today is kind of
right. Misty.
Yeah, I was just gonna look up the weather report while you were giving your detailed
yeah.
analysis.
So no, I think that you are correct in terms of runs being a premium here.
Oh, no mist, by the way.
No mist.
We're good.
So it's not gonna be misty.
Misty today, but they'll have I'm sure the tarps in the field right now. Type of thing.
So we know what Burns can throw out there. Like you said, I think it's going to be a low scoring, a tight game. I can see this score being somewhere in the realm of 4-2, 3-1, maybe even 4-3, something like that. And I think it's going to come at like a late game, 2-run homer, solo shot, something like that. And I think it would be the Yankees at the end of the day. Soto in a big spot, Judge in a big spot, even Stanton in a big spot. We've seen them come. Yeah, exactly.
Jazz
dude.
is due.
Maybe
Wells
even
is due.
Maybe even Rizzo. Even Rizzo was due. He had a couple hits
Rizzo
last
hasn't
night.
hit a homer
right?
since since Bush was president.
Literally, dude. So, it should be interesting to see kind of how it pans out. But I am expecting a tight, competitive game, like Yankees win by 1, like I said, sort of deal. But it does make for some great baseball. I mean, this is going to be a good matchup. Obviously, a matchup. These two teams could see each other in the postseason. Who knows? But obviously, time will tell there. What do you think, Zach?
I think echoing the same sentiment as you.
Yeah.
I think someone's going to come up big in the end, whether it be Judge or Soto. But you really can't ask for much more entertaining baseball down the stretch, So,
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
It's just so much better when you find yourself in the winner's circle, though.
Yes. Everybody knows that, Brian.
Like I have this feeling. I don't know. I want to win right now. Like I don't want to have to wait till 7:00 for the game to start. And then what I mean? It just I don't know. I just the last 2 days just really pissed me off. I have to say.
I mean, it would be too if I was a Yankee fan. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. The start by Stroman, like I said, honestly, if I was watching the game as a Yankee fan last night, I would have been pissed because they came back, but they still ended up losing. It's like, what is that all for?
And it's so annoying. Like, I don't know if maybe we could have learned with more money or maybe he just wanted to go. But with the whole Yamamoto thing, the reason we signed Stroman is because we didn't get Yamamoto. But it's but we invest in the option B. And once again, that comes back to bite because
doesn't pan out.
No, not many teams, even though if you look at his overall numbers, okay, they're not terrible, but he's pitched in the second half. I mean, it's like, I mean, how much of that money do you think you could get a team to cover? I mean, $5 million at most?
Yeah, I would say at most. And then it's, again, speaking of comparing, I mean, look at the way Yamamoto's been pitching.
Yeah. Well, he missed a lot of time with the injury, though.
But still, I mean,
no, you would have wanted him. Yes, of course. But I just hate that that's on the books for next year.
Oh,
terrible. But yeah, so it just I think let's just stop screwing around and get the win tonight. And onward, upward. I think Matthew agrees. He says, Brian, come on.
He loves that. He's been saying it a lot. Come on, dude, just get done, sort of deal. Which, I mean, again, I mean, that's that for the sentiment, I would say, of most Yankee fans. But I mean, listen, until it's done, I mean, you just got to get out there and like get it done. You know, like there's no excuses here.
Actually, get off your ass,
literally,
and do it.
Like fucking pitch well and score a few runs, and you're gonna win the game, dude. Like,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah. So let's go. I'm excited to talk about this, but let's do a full-on abbreviated baseball frenzy.
All right, baby. Let's start it off. We know the deal. No Mets. The doubleheader. I don't even want to fucking think about it. But I would say for my first start here, it's kind of tough, dude. Yeah. I mean, the Royals are playing for a lot. So let's go to the Nationals Park here in Washington, D.C., dude. The Royals taking on the Nats. Kansas City minus 175. I think tied for the second wild card spot, right, in the AL right now. Very tight race over there. You'll have to see that. And who's on the mound here? Michael Wacha on the mound for the Royals. Patrick Corbin opposing him for the Nationals. We're going to deal with those two guys. We know the usual suspects here. You know, Brian loves, was it C.J. Abrams, right? You're a big fan of
Abrams.
Oh,
but he's
my
in the
gosh,
minors
dude.
still because he was gambling.
Yes, dude. Bobby Witt, we know, Josh B's favorite player around the league. Royals here looking for the sweep. Get this. Total scoring for this series, 4 runs only, all scored by the Royals. The Nationals have been shut out back-to-back games. And you know what, dude? Let's make it a third game in a row here. Tommy Pham leading off here for the Royals. How about that? Has a 450 average against Patrick Corbin with 5 RBIs and a dinger. He'll have his second career dinger against Corbin tonight. Bobby Witt is 3 for 3 against him from earlier this year. I'll give me the Royals here. I'll hammer that freaking shutout here. Over-unders 8.5. Can't believe that. Give me the Royals. Give me the under. I say they win, 5-0. 5-0.
All right.
5-0.
The Yankees looking to hoist the division crown tonight. Cole versus Burns. I think pitching matchup good as advertised. I think this is a game where, it's 2-1 Yankees through 7 innings, and then they hit a big 3-run homer. Who else but Aaron Judge, 8th inning off of Cano to make it 5-1. Maybe Orioles tack one on, make it 5-2. End of the day, I think the Yankees will win this game by the score 5-2. Weaver, the immaculate 9th inning there to close the door. I think Cole, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 13 strikeouts, shouting as he walks off the mound and gets a standing ovation. But the Yankees win this one and are your American League East champions.
Love that call from Brian here. Next up, we're going to L.A., baby, 10 p.m. Dodgers, Padres. You know the deal. Dodgers here won last night 3-4. Padres won that before that 4-2. We have Musgrove, Buehler, 2 pitchers each with under 100 innings pitched this year, struggling with some injury, struggling with a lot of things. You could argue Musgrove be a little bit better with the lower ERA, but nonetheless, I think both these pitchers get absolutely popped. It's total batting practice all freaking day. So hammer that over of 8.5. And I'll say Ohtani, bottom 9, walk-off grand slam, Brian. Dodgers win 8-5.
All right. So a big game at the Oakland Coliseum, the last one for the A's.
That's
last
nice.
2 games, for this season, I think the A's average about 10,000 fans a night, maybe even less. Last 2 games, they've had over 30,000. I saw Ricky Henderson was in the building. I guess Mark Kotze said the team is going to address the fans after the game. Kumar Rocker getting the start for Texas.
Watch out.
JT Chin, who pitched against the Yankees last week, getting the start for Oakland. And I really think this comes down to not even just that the A's, their hitting can be pretty good. There is some talent there. We all know about Mason Miller. But I just think the emotions of closing out the Coliseum, closing out that time in history for the A's will just prevail them here. I think Brent Rooker gets the curtain call fifth inning grand slam. A's go on to win this game 5-4. Mason Miller, 106, striking out Simeon to end the game here. Jacked up. The A's victorious here. So A's in the over, closing out the Coliseum with a victory.
Yeah, great job there. I love that for the A's. Let's go now to Detroit. The Tigers taking on the Rays. The Tigers with 84 wins. I can't believe it. The way they've been playing is ridiculous. In the wild card running, we know that. Over under 7.5. Detroit minus 175 here against T-Bay. Detroit also another team looking for the sweep. A lot of young talent around Detroit. Matt Vierling, Riley Green, Colton Keith, Spencer Torkelson, to name a few here that have been doing really well. Kerry Carpenter, another one. Give the Tigers in this one. I absolutely love this right now. They're playing some great baseball. Reese Olson on the mound, pretty solid, definitely better than Tyler Alexander opposing him. I say Tigers take care of business. Scored 7 last night. They're scoring 10 tonight. Something magical is happening over in Detroit. They win this game 10-4, Tigers in the over.
Continuing the theme here, history in the making, and I think this is the night. They've been playing with fire.
Let's go.
But the Chicago White Sox will set the loss record at 121 games, and I think it sets up for it. Chris Flexen, 2-15, getting the start for the White Sox. 5.15 ERA going up against Tyler Anderson,
Nice.
10-14, 3.7. Angels, of course, another disappointing season of their own here. But nevertheless, I think they're able to win this game. I'm going to say by the score of 5-0. So Anderson stifling those White Sox bats, 7 scoreless. Angels under. The White Sox are the most losingest team in MLB history. And just like that, that is your baseball frenzy.
Tyler Anderson, dude.
The All-Star?
The All-Star.
I can't believe, boys. I mean, 4 days left in the regular season, huh?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, dude.
5 for some.
5 for some is right. But hey, I mean, this stretch of baseball for so many teams is kind of ridiculous. There's a lot of different storylines going on, a lot of things still undecided in the wild card race, even in some divisional races here. Very, very impressive, dude.
And I just trying to get a feel from you guys here, and especially while we have Zach here. It's good to get a different opinion, a different Met fan. Al was kind of alluding to, a little nervousness. The sense I get from Tony, a little angst, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, he's going to die on that hill and just say, listen, at the end of the day, it might be tough. We're going to get the job done.
That's right.
I mean, that more or less, you're still kind of teetering around that 65% area in terms of confidence level.
I would say so. I mean, certainly the hurricane, the curveball, the weather. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm going to stand by the Mets. Like, they're going to do well against Milwaukee. And then, who knows, doubleheader sweep.
Now, Zach, how are you feeling? Is there in the back of your head, are you just thinking, could this be like one of the worst finishes this season ever? Or you're not there yet?
Say it ain't so.
I'm not there yet. I think they can't make it easy for us with the hurricane and everything. It can never be simple for us. But I feel like I've had faith all season. I got to keep it going and just ride it out and see what happens.
Baby.
Hopefully,
that's right.
Lindor can come back full strength. We're going to need him. And
is he going to be in the lineup tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, because
he was going to start yesterday.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was going to start yesterday.
Injection or something? Because what's the injury again?
It was lower back tightness, right?
Yes.
That was really why he was out.
Okay.
I think he did get an injection. I'm not sure if he got an injection, to be honest.
I don't know.
But regardless, I mean, they're going to put it back in the lineup yesterday. So let's freaking go, dude. He's got the extra day off too now. Extra 2 days off, really. And then he should be 100% for the Brewers, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, that makes a big difference. And
Huge.
Interesting to see, or I don't know if they had said what the plan was going to be. How are they going to arrange, the field with Acuna and then having Lindor back? What were they going to do?
I would imagine Acuna will fall in the DH spot.
And is it been Martinez or kind of like a mixed bag?
Martinez recently, no, it's been, I think, Winker for the past few games.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, it'd be interesting to see, what they end up doing, but I think that's probably the move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, what's the scenario in terms of like the wild card and like who else is in play here? Like, what's the? I mean, is there anybody else beneath them that has a chance here, or is it just really them two battling it out?
Diamondbacks, Braves,
Um,
Mets.
Okay, so Diamondbacks, Braves.
Everyone else is already eliminated.
Oh, so really? I mean, obviously the head-to-head, makes a difference here, but the Braves, I mean, pretty much, I mean, the Diamondbacks pretty much are in the same boat. I mean, obviously the Braves, the one with the disadvantage here, and the Diamondbacks are playing who this weekend?
This weekend's a great question. Let's check it out. I know they just won yesterday. Was this against the? Well, they're going to be playing the Padres tonight, 9:40. That's the first game of their set. So,
so 4 game set.
Is it a 4 game
set?
set?
Yeah, because they're playing tomorrow as well.
That's wild. I mean, that's going to be tough for them, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they won pretty emphatically against the Giants last night, 8-2. But I know the way they've been playing has been great. But I mean, I'm not relying on them like getting swept or anything. Like if the Mets just win these freaking games this weekend, dude.
Any nervousness? Tomorrow Montas on the hill. He's been striking out a lot of guys for the Brewers. Manaea, is he due for that big clunker?
No, he's not due for a big clunker, dude. No, but Montas has been good for the Brewers. Yeah. You can't knock that. But I think when Door's coming back out there with a bang, I really do think, this Met locker room is turning this rain delay and the doubleheader on Monday into a positive, dude. That they're going to come out here and be like, all right, let's just get the job done against the Brewers, and then we'll figure it out. But I mean, I think they're going to want to come out here and avenge it. I mean, there's no way that they were in a good mindset after that first loss against the Braves. And I think having Lindor back in the lineup and then Acuna at DH, I mean, there's more than enough firepower here to get to Montas. So let's freaking go, dude. And people forget Acuna's been killing it, dude.
Acuna definitely has been killing it. And I'm just trying to see. So really, the Brewers can't really catch the Phillies or the Dodgers, so there really isn't any like motivation
for them. No, they clinched the division already.
Yeah, division's clinched. Yeah, but the seeding would be the only thing. But I think they're locked into
they're
the 3.
Locked in, dude. Yeah. So,
yeah. So
we'll see.
Yeah,
I wonder what their mentality would be like. But I mean, I'm sure they're looking for dubs. I mean, they're not going to be throwing meatballs out there either. So.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't think.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys say too? Kind of just to wrap up here. I was gonna take a quick look. I don't think. Okay, so it's 11:35, so we're just gonna miss that. But we'll talk President's Cup tomorrow before all the football,
absolutely,
baseball, of course. 1 to 10 though, excitement level for tonight's Thursday night football game.
Just because of my prediction, I guess I'll put it like a 7 or an 8 or something.
7.5.
7.5. Yeah. So, meet in the middle somewhere. And I feel like it's Thursday night. I don't think we have anything going on. So like a
horseshoe, Guinness, pool, or no?
I mean, that would be nice, but we'll see. Let's not get too crazy,
But I feel like unless you guys have something scheduled, don't you pretty much like every Thursday you're at the horseshoe or no?
That's been more of a recent thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, last week, the exception. Yeah, exactly. Since football started, I mean, it's like.
No, but last week, the exception.
Last week was a big exception because the plan was to go there for the Jets. Like, that was the plan. Like, we had planned it out that week,
Gotcha.
The week prior, we're just like, oh, nothing kind of going on. Let's just go, whatever. Maybe Mike and I will end up there tonight, but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a watch party here, get some pizza again or something. I don't know, dude. We'll figure it out. But definitely want to sit down and watch the game a little bit. Especially, somewhere indoors, where it's dark with alcohol.
Okay, so you're blacking out tonight.
No one's blacking out tonight,
it's a
dude.
brown out, whatever.
Come on,
Tony.
Dude. We have a show early tomorrow morning, dude.
Big
Come on.
Football Friday.
Big Football Friday. I'll be ready for the frenzy, dude.
The golf.
The golf, dude.
Cup,
Speaking of which, Zach, how do you feel about the Saints right now, dude?
I had a feeling I was going to be asked about this.
Oh, wow, dude.
Just
of course, too. Like, I mean, you might as well, right?
Yeah.
We had him here.
I think we definitely came back down to earth a little bit this weekend. I felt like the main problem was Eric McCoy, our center, got hurt like right when the game started. Now he's going to be out for 8 weeks. He needs surgery. Basically, I felt like most of our plays couldn't even really get off the ground offensively because no one was blocking. And like, it's typical like Saints fans to be like, oh, it's Carr's fault. Or I just didn't even think it could be Carr's fault because we couldn't even execute plays. The defense played great besides Goddard. They let Goddard run all
All over
over
the place,
him.
over 100 yards, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I think he had like 170
yeah, something like that, dude. It's
It was
crazy.
insane. So I'm, definitely. I'm still. It's still really not on the defense. They did all they could to keep us in the game. They gave the offense opportunities to score. Just we could not get out of our own way with the offensive line. So
I mean, still a pretty tight game against the Eagles. I mean, it was
yeah.
Right?
Offensive
So it was-
struggle,
yeah,
obviously,
offensive
15
struggle.
and 12. Are you confident for the game in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think division rivalry will be all right. We know them. I'm hoping it's a big bounce back for us. We need to get back to what we're doing on offense. Obviously, we're not going to hang 40 points a game on everybody. I knew we were going to kind of come back down to earth, but like, I would like to see the offense pick back up again.
Well, get Shaheed the ball. I mean, I think they did a great job of that the first couple of games, but last game we barely touched the ball.
Yeah,
it's interesting. And Falcons, I don't know. I can't quite put my thumb on them yet. You know, like, are they going to be good?
Yeah, like,
Or are they
big win
kinda
against
trash?
the
Like
Eagles,
Cousins,
but the Eagles, I think, are a broken team. So let's see them do that against another team. I don't know if they will, but we'll talk about it obviously in the Friends tomorrow. And like kind of like a Josh P. We have the first pick tomorrow for the picks, so we'll be getting the good selections, and we are winning, Josh. So not trying to like talk trash or anything, right? But that's so going to be great tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a good one tonight. Hopefully we get a division title tonight. But once again, would like to thank everybody for tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees. And we will see you.
Mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.